So, welcome to Alcatraz Island. Today, we're visiting an island in San Francisco. It was once a jail, a fort, and it was also owned by the Indians. Also, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't.
Don't laugh at all. So, because I'm in California. I'm in San Francisco. And you can see that I'm on a boat. But, where am I heading to? And the answer is, oh no, it's not that. It's not that. It's over there, but you can't see it. Some of it's covered in clouds. But anyway, I'm going to Alcatraz Island. I'll see you when you get there. You might be wondering, what is Alcatraz Island? Well, it's a famous jail. This is it. Now once I get there, there's some boats.
Birds called cormorants. They nest on the cliffs and they can dive 300 feet down. We also have a pair of peregrine falcons that nest here. Fastest animal in the world. It can go up to 240 miles an hour. So lots of birds out here. Welcome to the Rock. Your first and only required stop is we have a special guest, as I mentioned, you're getting off the ferry. Someone who actually did time on the island. I'll let you know where you can talk to him. And like I said, there are not many people around that can say that. He was here in the late 1950s, and since then he's turned his life around. He's been free for quite a long time, but he can tell you what that was like to do time here on the island. And after the prison closed, Alcatraz did make history, and a lot of you are curious about what that message up there means. So that happened after the prison closed in 1969. The prison had been closed for 6 years, closed in 1963. In 1969, a group of Native American activists calling themselves Indians of all tribes took Alcatraz and wanted to create a cultural center here, a museum. The occupation would last for 19 months and started other movements around that time as well, in the 1960s, late 1960s. And the occupation still resonates with the Native American community today. So when you walk around the island, you'll see other evidence of the occupation of Alcatraz. Again, welcome to the Rock. As you make your way off the ferry, your first and only required stop is right here. And by the way, the prison, you may have seen, if you're on the fog, you can see it, as you were coming in on the ferry, the building at the top of it was a prison. Now, when the prison was built in 1909, it was not built for Al Capone. It was actually built for military prisoners in 1909. The men built that prison in 1909.
In 1946 Chevrolet pickup. It's nicknamed Art Deco. The 1946 had a similar design to the pre-war 1941 model. Native American occupiers repaired trucks left on the island after the prison closed and used them to haul supplies. This truck was found its way back to the Rock in 1993 during the filming of a Warner Brothers movie, Murder in the First.
Long before Alcatraz became the nation's most notorious penitentiary in 1934, it was Fort Alcatraz. The fourth and largest U.S. military fortification on the Pacific coast. Guardhouse in Sallyport, Alcatraz U.S. Army Post, 1857 to 1934. Between 1857 and 1934, Island evolved from a defensive fort to a military prison and eventually to a federal penitentiary. Its role as a prison started in the fort's guardhouse, just ahead in the room to the right, beneath the floor, through a trapdoor. Right here says 2007. That might, because these do look newer, so that might mean that they put them in 2007. Right here it says electric shop. Over here is one of the apartments. This is a penitentiary residence, 1934 to 1963. Military workshops and schoolhouse, 1918 to 1933. During the Civil War, Confederate supervisors, political prisoners, deserters, and other Army convicts were sent to Alcatraz. This marked the beginning of the island's evolution from fort to prison. After the war ended, the post was pressed to take an increasing number of military prisoners, forcing construction of temporary cell houses and other facilities. The cluster of shelter stores alongside this road was called the Royal Prison. After the Army officially renamed Alcatraz Pacific Branch Military Prison in 1907, most of the makeshift buildings demolished and work began on a cell house at Staten Island somewhere today.
Here are the gardens along that side of Alcatraz, overlooking the bay. It's really fogged in. You can kind of see the top. Some mountains, hills on the other side. You could a second ago. There it is, off in the distance. And there's more on this way.
So, we are now entering the main prison. We are now in the prison.
1,576 inmates. 14 escape attempts.
The big lockup. That's the prison in the United States. Break the rules and you go to prison. Break the prison rules and you go to Alcatraz.
Clothing issue. After showering, inmates collected their prison-issue clothing from the caged area. Once dressed in Alcatraz blues, convicts were marched into the general population cells on the floors above us. The Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, I can see it!
So this is the recreation yard of Alcatraz. Kind of through the fog, you can see the top of the Golden Gate Bridge. Fog's starting to clear. You can see the very top of the bridge.
So this is where the good prisoners went.
What's that?
This is where the good prisoners went. The next place that we're going is where the bad ones went.
What did they do here?
They played. It's called the recreational yard.
What kind of things did they play?
Horseshoe.
Horseshoes, yeah. Shuffleboard looks like down there.
Some favorite inmates, which means people who went to jail, are Alphone, Scarface Capone, George Machine Gun Kelly, Arthur Doc Barker, Elvin Creepy Coppice Coppervick, Robert the Birdman Stroud, Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson, Maya Mickey Cohen. So here are some facts about Alcatraz Island. Number 1, Alcatraz Island was built as a fort. Number 2, Alcatraz Island prison officers planted gardens. Number 3, families used to live on Alcatraz Island. Number 4, there was no death row at Alcatraz prison. Finally, number 5, Native Americans activists occupies Alcatraz prison. Number 6, Alcatraz Island had the Pacific Coast Force Lighthouse. Number 7, no prisoner officially escaped. Number 8, prisoners requested transfers to Alcatraz prison. Number 9, Alcatraz prison was never full. And number 10, Alcatraz prison was named after pelicans. This is the cafeteria of Alcatraz Island. Sometimes fights broke out here because there was no bars. And if you look into there, you can see that's the kitchen where they cook the food. So, this is photos of Alcatraz Island. It was really fun. And I actually got a chance to meet someone who was an inmate from here, and he signed a book about himself and also a brochure about a piece of Alcatraz Island. These are some other photos of it. This one is a photo of San Francisco from the boat. It's another one with a pier. You can see seagulls and over here you can see the island closer and closer, and then that's me with my GoPro.
Now you're gonna get your journal, your notebook, get ready for everything, and write down it in the next page.
Today's word of the day is inmate. Someone who is conformed to an institution such as a prison. Alcatraz operated as a prison from 1934 to 1963. Total number of inmates at Alcatraz was 1,576.
Thank you for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Visit our online channel. You can buy lots of things on it. Or a journal. You can buy a journal on my online website.